All right, welcome to the fourth and final review of the evening. Up this time is Karakuri-kun, a Japanese tale. A toy maker has made his masterpiece, a Japanese robot that has come to life. Play as Karakuri-kun and learn Japanese history of the samurai and the Edo period through this JRPG. And yeah, that's pretty much the entire premise here. Like, um, you are. I'm trying to remember the name of the Japanese doll. Like, it's a specific Japanese name, but um, like it should be coming up here.
What are we talking about?
The name for a Japanese doll.
Karakuri is the term for Japanese clockwork.
Right.
Ningyo is a doll. Or no, wait. Yeah, Ningyo.
Yeah, that's the word. Because yeah, you're both. You're a clockwork doll. Like all the inventory items are like clockwork keys and shit. Cogs.
Did they kidnap Hatsune Miku?
Possibly.
Oh god.
Like some inspirations may be more obvious than others. I mean, technically speaking, her name is, well, Karakuri. And the honorific is Kun, I guess.
It works either way. It's a little bit less cutesy than Sean.
Right. But also Kun is a authoritative honorific.
It's what you use for like co-work or usually subordinates, but like
Yeah, it's not as high as Sama, but
it's not
higher.
as high as San, but it's still like a respectful subordinate thing.
Yeah. Like I forget the intricacies at this moment in time. And though I suppose that's kind of what this game is about. Well, broadly speaking, it's what if we took a 16-bit Final Fantasy game and infused it with Mario is Missing. That is to say, well, it's the closest game I can think of from the actual 16-bit era to connect the Y in the X meets Y here. Yeah, because
I would be surprised if there isn't any Pinocchio in it.
There isn't. At least not that I saw. Because
I mean, you're a living doll that was made by an old man, so...
Right, but that ignores the Japanese part of this title. This is about Japanese history and culture, not Italian.
Yeah, I mean, you can still do a Pinocchio.
I'm like, we'll take it up with the developers, I suppose. Because, this is about, meeting, famous Japanese people, like, Oda Nobunaga, Musashi Miyamoto, Yusuke the Black Samurai, and so on and so forth. And through your conversations with them, you will learn a very, dry interpretation of Japanese history. I suppose the proper term from actual historians, antiseptic history. Because, it's just a very cold reading of facts. Like, this happened in this year, and this happened in this year by this person. And later on, you will have to answer a quiz about said history. Like, and I'll be honest, it's not very riveting. But that may be the historian in me talking, because, this is, this, this is the kind of tool set you would use for kids. Because, once again, it's the dryness that I come back to. Like, it's just, very matter of fact reading of the facts. There's no flavor. There's no texture. There's no narrative. Well, I can't say there's no narratives. There are narratives, but once again, they're very bland. So on the one hand, that does make stuff digestible. On the other hand, that makes this very boring. So, yeah, I'll be honest. When I was hitting the quizzes, I wasn't remembering some of the stuff, just because, it's that drudgery in trying to remember. Like, so it's an interesting mix in and of itself. Like, okay, what if we took a 16-bit Squaresoft RPG and, made it about, entry-level Japanese history? Okay, that I suppose has its uses, but, only to a point. As far as the game goes, well, it's actually been a while since we played a RPG Maker game, but, this is a prim and proper RPG Maker, as in, this is a JRPG, and not something like, say, Yume Nikki or Off, or, some other weird experiment that was done in RPG Maker, but would in no way be considered to be a JRPG.
Right.
Also worth noting, there is some sloppiness. Like, there were some text boxes that weren't filled, wrong character portraits, and really the stuff to really make it a true RPG Maker experience. Like, as an RPG, it's fine, decent. It's, it's nothing notable, too notable, but it gets the job done. It's just, the educational stuff is highly boring, and I hate it when that happens, because it makes teaching that much more hard. Maybe this is a subjective thing. I don't know. Petty, do you have any further opinions to add here?
I know, like, when I used to doing history stuff, the boring teachers, I never stuck with it and ended up just coasting by enough to get through, so believe me, I know. As far as...
There's no passion for the material, which is surprising.
Yeah. As far as, like, other things, I think at least starting out, the battles might be a little on the hard side. Like, you get the free heal, but, like, the enemies are hitting me for almost as much as I'm healing for, unless they miss.
That is a fair point. Anyway, it is worth noting the price, because, this is Coffee Zone material, $2. So even if you don't find it super compelling, you're not losing a whole lot of... And that's really all I got on Karakuri-kun. And indeed, that will bring this Fragments Silicon review session to an end. So, coming up on the week ahead. Right. So, as previously mentioned, a couple of weeks of scheduling got blowed up by outside factors. And in an effort to not run short this week, I'm pulling out, the extra long material. Indeed, we are returning to the Game Players Game Tape series. And we're going to be hitting Volume 1, Number 12, which is another publisher, I can't say examination, a publisher showcase. In this case, the publisher is Acclaim.
Rest in peace, Acclaim.
Not so much. Someone bought the Acclaim name and is using it for an indie publisher. There was a lot of hype articles about it a few months ago. What I noticed was not a whole lot of games were announced or any games, but yeah. So we're going to be looking at one of the more infamous publishers of the 8 and 16-bit era. And it's going to look at some of their, one of their best published games, for example, in Double Dragon 2. I know that's not actually an Acclaim game, but I know the Double Dragon situation on the Nintendo was a bit weird. Like, Trade West published the first one, then it switched to Acclaim. That might have to do with Technos not giving a fuck about who published what as long as somebody paid them.
Probably that, yeah.
On the other hand, we will be seeing their, by their, I mean Rare's port of the arcade smash Narc. Oh boy. So we're probably, we're going to get the gamut here. More on that on Wednesday. No Friday show because that also blew up. New episode of MSP slated as well. So until next time, I shall wish you good gaming.